Hey guys, Karen here. I just wanted to make a video in honor of a stream that I took part of. The stream took place yesterday over on YouTube, and I was really left with wanting to share my thoughts and opinions and my feelings on the topic, but I was not given the chance to express myself. So I decided to make a video for myself and explain my views on Dark Elves, especially from a Kaldorei perspective. So yesterday night, actually, after the stream, I was left with all of these thoughts and feelings, and I wanted to just purge them out. So last night I made a video for myself saying whatever came to mind, and I recorded it. And so this morning I was able to write down word for word what I said. And so that is what I'm going to read to you today. I think this encompasses really well what I feel or my train of thought after discussing the origins or the lore of Dark Elves. So I guess to start off really quickly, there are elves in the Nordic legend that are either light or dark elves. I also came across a website that mentioned that elves were seen as mischievous little creatures. These beings were meant to instill fear in humans, and perhaps this is where the concept of those dark elves came from. However, in Tolkien's world, he was able to create a very strong image of a high elf, of an elf that is attuned to nature and is very wise, and often sought for guidance. And that concept is very used in video games. And I think that Blizzard was able to encompass this kinds of beings into their world. Yeah, without further ado, I'm just going to read what I wrote last night. When it comes to darkness and light, to me, there's no true definition of which one is good or evil, or if one is more important than the other. We require a balance of those two forces in order to be complete and in order to function, because as humans, we feel all of these emotions that are within us and are innate to our beings, and it is through meditation and the constant communion with the higher self that we can tame these impulses. The reason as to why we would want to tame this darkness, this ego, is because in a society and in the community that we live in, it is not acceptable for you to always take and behave out of emotion. That is why it is important to understand shadow work. Shadow work is the acknowledgement and acceptance of those dark aspects of ourselves and understanding why it is that we feel the way that we feel, and simultaneously tame those emotions in order to control the actions that we take. What a dark elf is to me is someone who is in tune with their darkness, and they would use that darkness in order to protect the things that they love, or search for a meaning of some sort. It is a method, a tool that we use in order to reach our goal. It is a feeling. It is determination. It is an unwavering soul who wants to achieve their purpose. It is a being who will not take shit, because a lot of people will take advantage of you and they will come and make a fool out of you or use you. And to someone who is an empath and altruistic, that takes energy away from you. Your energy, you're giving it away. These people are sucking the energy out of you, and it's exhausting. So, a dark elf is someone who says, no, this is my boundary. Do not cross my boundary. And so then I went to talk about what are light elves. And there was a period of time where I was just silent for a little bit. I just continued saying that there's a very thin line between light and dark. Because when you think of light, you think of order and a nation, a place, a thing, a feeling that is orderly, that is centered. When you think of light, you think of purity. You think of transcending all of the ego and the negative emotions, and that you're aligned to a place of love. But in order to be a light elf, to be fully in a place of love, you need to establish that community and sacred space, because it doesn't matter where you live, as long as there's negativity and all of these emotions that come from the ego. It is very difficult to stay in a place of love when you're surrounded by a hateful society. The act of saying no can come from a place of love, love for yourself. There's no true distinction between light and dark when it comes to being good or evil. It is about the actions that you choose to do and the path that you choose to walk, because there are definitely times where I work from a place of love, but part of me does not take shit. I do not endorse war or fighting, but I am not a pacifist. I will fight for what's right, for justice. But there's a thin line between justice and vengeance. When it comes to the Night Elves, I was trying to say last night on the stream that in many religions there is a moon goddess. There are usually three aspects: maiden, mother, and crone, which is also portrayed in a waxing moon, full moon, and new/dark moon. So there is an inherent darkness in our satellite that reflects light, aka our moon. When I look into the dark moon, I don't think of evil. I don't think of doing harm. But it does come with an association of internalizing, and ultimately, because of the Night Warrior ritual, it has become a symbol of owning my strength and harnessing my power. I feel like this is the time where my throat chakra is the most open, and it's very hard for me to hold back on what I want to say. The dark moon, in relation with the crone archetype, is associated with wisdom, old age, and experience. How this ties into the Night Warrior is wisdom of yourself, of your own power, and how connected to the universe and the cosmos you are, and how we're part of that cycle. There are times in our everyday lives that we go through phases just like the moon. We change with the seasons. The darker months of the year are not usually associated with evil. They are associated with turning inwards and finding a place to seek knowledge and enjoy the crops and harvest we've gathered during the spring and summer. It is a time when we hibernate, where we turn inward. So to me, it reflects the importance of the self. So I guess this is where darkness comes in as well. That when there's darkness, you turn inwards, meaning that you focus on yourself. And this can be reminiscent of the left-hand path, which is you working to benefit yourself, which is not evil to me. We want what is best for ourselves, and sometimes we need to do work for ourselves. So it is okay to say, no, I'm taking this time to myself, for myself. And it is not because of selfishness or being self-centered. It comes from a place of self-love. We must love ourselves as we are. And to love ourselves as we are, we need to understand ourselves and where we come from. When it comes to the Kaldorei and harnessing the Night Warrior aspect, they have never been pacifists. They will protect their lands and the ones that they love, because no one wants to be taken advantage of and or taken away from. No one wants for someone else to impose themselves on their lands and their sacred space. The way that I see the Dark Elves in the Kaldorei society is when the Night Warrior aspect is present, honed, and evoked. I don't understand Blizzard's plot and plan to say that the Night Warrior aspect is very dangerous and that it usually takes over the person invoking it. To me, that is more so going towards the notion that darkness is evil. So I don't agree with that. I don't agree that if you invoke the Night Warrior within you, that you will turn into darkness. I do agree, however, that being hyper-focused on your goal is harmful for you. When it comes to the burning of Teldrassil and the persuasion of the Banshee, that was a hyper-focus. However, there were a lot of implications and a lot of building up. There was death, genocide, involved, which held a fine line between justice and vengeance. I do like what they did in the sense that by harnessing this inner strength and understanding our powers, our core, we can understand how powerful we are. I don't like that it is thought of as forbidden or dangerous. Yes, you can become hyper-focused on a goal or a feeling, but the most important part of this to me is to come from a place of love and light and balance the two. This is very apparent to me when it comes to the burning of Teldrassil, in which I invoked hope to balance my sense of vengeance and move towards justice. And I will speak about my feelings and my thoughts on the burning of Teldrassil come Samhain. So look forward to that video because it's already edited, I already made it, and I personally love it, and I can't wait to share it when the time is right. Continue. I wanted to give a view of the Dark Elves when it comes to the Kaldorei, because as children of the stars, we shine in the darkness. We are the light to the dark. Darkness is around us, and we shine. And we have our own darkness within us, as all in nature does. The Kaldorei are a balance of this. They are unyielding, unwavering, and they are justice. But they are also compassionate, altruistic, and loving. It is the balance of both of these that truly makes an elf rise above humanity and the ego. If there is something to take from this, is that darkness does not equal evil. Light does not equal good. Balance of the two is needed to be fully yourself here on Earth. I cannot say what other dimensions are like. When it comes to the soul, I still think it is important to be balanced. Perhaps it is our purpose to seek balance in a place of love so that we can be the Light Elven souls, come from a place of love. A challenge in modern society built on war, hate, and discrimination. That was my input on Dark Elves, especially coming from a Kaldorei a Kaldorei perspective. Still a lot of research that I would like to do regarding this, but so far I am happy with this conclusion that I have come. Anything else that I see fit to share, then I will definitely do that. I am building my grimoire in a way that it has teachings that I can be comfortable in sharing. That is my purpose of my grimoire, to serve as a book of reference in order for me to, I guess, teach or explain my point of view of spirituality and life and how that is tied to the Kaldorei from World of Warcraft. Well, they're not necessarily tied to World of Warcraft, but that is where initially they came from. I believe that the Kaldorei are much more than what they are portrayed in World of Warcraft. But that is where my views and my image of the divine come from. So if you have any questions or just any comments that you want to say, please let me know. I guess this one is actually my first spiritual video on my channel. And it's funny because I laugh because on my Samhain video that I have planned, I said that it marked the first video on my spiritual path, I guess. But I didn't think that I was going to talk about this back when I made that video. You know, I was really inspired to talk about this because I felt like I wasn't given an opportunity to speak my truth and my feelings, and I want to do that now. So yeah, thank you all for watching this video. If you have any more suggestions on content that you would like to see, or if you have any questions about anything, I'll do my best to answer or make a video about it. Obviously, ask questions with care and coming from a place of love and learning and not narrow-minded and hurtful. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you have a great day and you snooze al dia.